All right, everyone. Welcome to Lunch Out Loud, Ottawa, number 72. My name is Nick Wachowski.
And I'm Andrew Miller.
And, of course, we're the podcast that talks to the people, places, music, and events that make this city the incredible city that it is. Today, we're in Orleans.
Beautiful day. First patio day of the year.
Absolutely. We're on the patio.
At Corner Bar and
The Corner Bar, like we announced on Beyond the Pale. And before we get to our very special guest, Rocky Laporte, the expert landscaper, why don't we check this out?
Hello. This is John Schofield from The Yips here, getting loud, live, and hungry with you on Lunch Out Loud, Ottawa. Want to play a couple tunes for you, and if you dig them, why don't you come check us out at Press Cafe, Sunday, May 25, with some badass babes, the Courtneys, or at this year's North by Northeast Festival in Toronto. See you there. Yip, yip.
Thank you, John and the Yips. So, of course, May 25th, check them out at Pressed. Their EP at yips613.bandcamp.com. One of the best live shows you can see in this city.
I bet.
So much
lots
action.
Of energy.
Lots of energy. Lady, female action on the singing, which I always love as well.
So, Rocky, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks
Good.
for inviting me.
Oh, not a problem. We figured it pretty fitting. I mean, we like to educate our listeners a little bit. We've had home inspectors on, things like that. Landscaping is something that we haven't touched on. And as me and Nick were talking about earlier, we find that a lot of people kind of leave the landscaping till the end. They do all the work in their house. They forget about the outside. And, it is very important. So, like we do with all of our guests here, we want to hear a little bit about yourself. Where you grew up, what kept you in town, things like that.
I'm an East End guy. Always lived on Montreal Road, the corner of Montreal Road and Miss Ottawa Street, if you can figure that one out.
All right.
Anyways, so we saw everything develop in this part of town. Lived in that house all my life till I got married.
Yeah.
We saw Beacon Hill develop in 1968-69 to Blackburn Hamlet to Orleans.
Wow.
And we had a family business back in the day. And actually the community grew around us because we've always been there.
Now, what was the old family business?
The business was Laporte Gardens. And it was, we were known for our garden center and our fruit and vegetables.
Oh, right on.
And,
so playing in the dirt's been in your blood since you were little.
I'm a fourth generation gardener.
Wow.
I've got pictures of my great-great-grandfather on a big, huge wood wagon bringing cabbages with a horse
to
the Byward Market in 1897 or 1998.
Oh, wow.
I have a picture of him. Yeah, we have a picture that's unbelievable.
Wow.
See my great-grandfather. And so he's, before that, I don't know how far back we go back, but I think the Laportes and the Lanes were always, gardeners and not farmers. They grew produce, sold it wholesale or whatever retail.
Well, that's good. Is Laporte Gardens still around?
No, it's not. We closed it in 2002. I left it in 2001 to start my own business. I did it for 32 years. I had enough of the retail.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it anymore. I just wanted to move on. It was time in my life. I was just about to turn 50.
Yeah.
So I started a new business.
Oh, that's good.
And that's what you're doing today.
That's it. My business is called The Gentleman Gardener. I'm a real, I call myself a professional. I know my.
Well, you got to know your
stuff.
plants and your trees, obviously.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I know and all the techniques behind planting and revamping yards. We do a lot of makeovers.
That's good.
From old yards.
You said you're 4th generation in now, and
Yes.
is the next generation going to be taking over for you as well?
Yes, I have my son Philip. He's going on his 9th year with me.
Oh, wow.
And Philip, again, he's a self-made kind of guy a bit. He's an entrepreneur like the Laportes were.
Yeah, we like our entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And,
And he's a hell of a painter as well.
That he is.
yes, yeah.
So, being out in Orleans, what has been your favorite thing that you've seen come up? Go, wow, I like that. That's come up here. And what's been maybe your something that you've been a little hesitant about?
Well, I find you're meaning in the landscaping or just in
general.
general. The
You've
growth.
seen everything grow around you.
Yeah, there's been a lot of growth. I just find the road system is very weak.
Yeah.
That's the problem I'm having for me to get around to my customers and that, especially when I'm still trying to finish off a job at 4:30 in the afternoon around here, or to finish it for 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock for the customer.
Yeah.
Around 3:30 to 5:30 here, it's terrible to get around the area and get to my nursery. The lineup is backed up on the 417 going eastbound because of the people all going back home to Rockland and Sarsfield and whatever, Castleman. And I know people that are in Windover that have to go up into Ottawa every day. So that's a far piece. And
traffic's kind of notorious.
Yeah, and I can't get around
to
to turn on the lights to get to the nursery. And it frustrates me, and to get to the dump.
Yeah.
To get rid of my waste, and start fresh the next morning. So it's been difficult. The roads needs a lot of work. There's a lot of work being done, but not getting done fast enough for me.
I know Bob Manette and Rainier Bloss, and actually, that looks like him over there. If we're here on the patio of the corner bar, that actually looks like him. So what we'd like to talk to you about, I guess, a lot of our listeners are in the 25 to 40-year-old range, and a lot are moving into their homes for the first time, and when they move into homes, they're, like Andrew said earlier, they're focusing on getting furniture, and it's in the winter, so they spend 7 months this year, about 25 months in a row in the winter.
Yes.
That this is their first time being able to go, okay, I got to do something with my backyard, and they don't know where to start. So what would be kind of, if you're looking out at a backyard, not the biggest one, say about 40, what do you start looking at first? What do you recommend?
If people are getting, I find if first home buyers a lot of times are into semi-detached and townhomes, very little to do. It depends. I always say first, I tend to say, do you have children? Sometimes it's just a young couple moving into a place, but let's say a young couple and they have a couple of kids. Well, the little micro backyard you had, you should turn it into a kids area. Let the children have their whole big space there, a nice big sandbox. And really what I tell everybody, if you're going to have a house and it's plain Jane out there, plant a tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plant a tree, because the tree represents your family. And when your children grow and the tree grows, it's all symbolic to me. And it's a nice kind of it's a heirloom to the home. You know what I mean? When you see the tree grow, it starts giving shade in the backyard or the front yard, and you see the tree grow and your kids are growing around you. To me, that's the best thing. You plant a tree, start with a tree, and have a safe walkway to your front door.
Safe walk. There's a lot of bad walkways up there.
Terrible.
And a lot of bad steps.
And a lot of the builders are cheaping out big time. Maybe stress them to put that extra patio stone in, that extra row patio stone, so you have a good, safe walk up to your front. I found some of the walkways are so poor.
How can you talk to your developer about the walkway? What would you say? What kind of materials would you look for in that situation?
Well, a regular old patio stone's fine. You don't have to be fancy interlock. Just to make it wide enough. I find some that are just. Why are people buying a house for $350,000, $400,000, and they have six $10 patio stones to get to your front entrance?
Yeah.
And that's when you should talk something you should talk about when you are buying the house. The salesman that's selling you that house. Just say, can we get, let's say, a safe entrance? I've seen so many poor ones, so many, and they sink after a year, and they become a kind of illegal because they're not code anymore. They've dropped down. They're over 7.5 inches, which is code.
What is that? That's the code for going up to the front step?
Yeah, from your walkway to the step. Every step can't be any more than 7.5 inches.
Yeah, and a lot of them do, and like you said, a lot of them
do. Some go 8, 10, and we've measured some. We said we got to fix this, Mr. and so and so. It's you're gonna fall down, or grandma's gonna fall, or can't get up there. And or whatever, whoever visits. It's not a good thing. So
Yeah.
Can you go to the developer and say once it starts sinking, a year or two later, and go fix this?
Well,
No,
they give you kind of
no.
a year warranty type thing.
Year warranty?
A lot of them they'll come and fix it if it's really bad, but I've seen some really bad ones where you can see almost 3 inches underneath the actual step.
Yeah.
The step or the landing going into the house. So
Yeah. Well, we were just talking about planting trees. We know from home inspections that trees can be quite a problem with the root systems and whatnot. Do you have a recommendation as to how far, if you're planting a tree, number one, how far you should be away from the home? Number two, are there some trees that are worse than others for the root system?
there is some trees that are bad. But most of them now are basically kind of banned. A lot of nurseries they're not carrying them.
Oh, really?
If you want a poplar, forget it.
Oh, really?
Weeping willows, only if you live out in the country, and it's going to be at least 300 yards away from your house.
Is there code for that?
There is codes, and you will not be able to plant a weeping willow in your backyard if you want. I don't care if you live on a 2-acre in Orleans or anywhere in town. You got a 2-acre lot.
Well, that's a good point. I remember I sold a property to somebody before, and they had purchased a weeping willow specifically because the water table's a little high where they were. So one portion of their yard, it was quite far away from their house, but it would seem to always be flooded in the spring.
Yeah.
So they purchased a weeping willow, and that seemed to alleviate the problem. That tree
they're
sucked
drinkers.
up.
Weeping willows are they're the alcoholic of trees. They drink. And poplars are known to grow too. They love moisture, and it's the root system. They search for moisture. They'll penetrate through a pool wall if it's if that water is around. For some reason.
Really?
And so you don't see those trees anymore.
Okay, say you have you have a tiny yard, and you want, instead of fencing, you want to put some of those evergreens in the back.
Yeah, evergreens or
what
hedging
are those,
or
some
something.
Of those favorite?
If you want to do a natural hedge, you can do evergreens. The old cedars is always, is always the instant green in your backyard, and instant fence kind of. You got to start short. Never plant them tall. Never go over 4 feet to start a hedge. But
they grow pretty quickly, do they not?
They do, but they end up taking a lot of space. After the first year, a cedar will grow a foot a year, upwards and sideways.
Okay.
And if you don't stay on top of it, they'll take over a lot of your property.
Yeah.
I recommend some alpine currants as a shrub. It's deciduous. Alpine currant. There's the Armor maple. They make beautiful little hedges, clean, very kind of almost English style. Very clean and proper. They're not prickly. Kids won't get hurt in it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Some people do rose bushes, but that's I don't believe in that. Especially if you have children.
Now, what are the root systems like for those types of trees then?
Zero, no worries.
Really? So you can put those.
You can plant
pretty close to your foundation wall, so to speak, or
yes, you can. That's no problem. They're just a shrub.
Okay.
A tree. Some of the yards are getting smaller, and we know that.
That's right.
They seem that the homes are getting bigger, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving you a lot of square footage inside. Because generally, and I've noticed this trend's been happening for the last maybe 10, 15 years. The houses are getting bigger because people just really live in their houses. They don't live too much outside. The outside thing's a cool thing if you have a lot of room and you got the big patio. But a lot of people live indoors. They love their air conditioning. They love their big TV. And they love their shag carpet.
I have none of those.
Yeah. So, but the yards are small.
Yeah.
Don't go for a maple. Everybody wants a red maple. Everybody wants a big. No. Go to a more, a tree, a more decorative tree. Japanese silk lilac. Very nice. Go to a columnar. A lot of columnar trees now. Where the branches are shooting up. They're not going sideways.
Yeah.
There's columnar oaks, English oaks.
I've seen quite a few that I like to say they look like an umbrella, sort of, where they come up and they bow down and they keep them pretty trim like that.
Oh yes. Okay. Well, those are shrubs that are on stem. They've been grafted on a trunk of a tree, and they're decorative too. They stay quite short. But a nice columnar crabtree is really nice too. Beautiful flowers. Yeah, columnar meaning it goes up high. It doesn't go sideways much. And they're good barriers for privacy too in backyards. So those are nice. You put those along the fence line, you get some really nice shade, some nice privacy, pretty darn quick.
What kind of trends are you seeing in the past 10 years in the change of people in Ottawa? Maybe with the with the traffic that you're talking about earlier, people are not getting home as soon as possible to start working on their yard, so they're running out a little bit of time. So maybe they cut back on certain things, like not as much lawn to cut. So they're trying more decorative in the front. What kind of trends?
That's right. Trends I'm seeing, people, the work I do, sometimes the first word that comes out of their mouths is, I want low maintenance.
Yeah.
Mr. Laporte, I need low maintenance. I don't have the time. But I want a nice garden.
People
I want a
are
nice
busy.
little sitting area. And the patio furniture scene is big now. Eh?
Yeah.
Every store is selling
it. Seems outdoor
And
living spaces are becoming
very
much
nice.
more
Yeah, people
popular.
want a nice pad to sit on, a nice big umbrella, and have their drinks and talk, and have a little bit of greenery around, and they can enjoy.
So what are some of your advices for the low maintenance style?
Planters.
Yeah?
Yeah. You get into garden beds and a lot of perennials, you're going to have to work a little bit every weekend.
You'll be picking
You're gonna
weeds
have,
all the time.
Well, not only that, but you're going to have to, eventually they overgrow, so they have to be divided and all that stuff, But a little bit of perennials and a little bit of shrubbery. Keep it simple. But do a lot of planters. Planters are fun. There's a lot of nice containers out now. Unbelievable. There's
There
some
are actually.
beautiful
I just
stuff.
saw
I've seen-
some at Home Depot. Some nice wood, cedar planters.
Oh, yeah,
that they're
and
selling.
I've even seen some really... Well, my cousin John at the nursery, J. Laporte Nursery on Old Montreal Road, he's
okay.
got a beautiful selection of really nice... They look like concrete, but they're not, and they look really neat. Nice kind of grids in them and stuff like that. I even seen some at Loblaws in their garden centers. Some really nice shaped ones, really neat,
That's good. So number one advice for keeping it simple, then get rid of the garden beds and do planters.
Do planters, but you can have the odd garden bed, but don't overdo it, If you don't have too much time, don't go for the whole elaborate system, I do a nice bed in your front step, around your front step, your front walkway, because it's very inviting for for yourself and for people to come over, it shows a little bit of your character in front, We do a lot of those.
What are some easily maintainable plants if you are going for the garden beds? Some annuals that'll come up every year with with little maintenance.
Yeah, some perennials. I recommend some nice flowering shrubs, more than perennials. Perennials will give you work. Okay. Annuals are plants that you plant every summer, like your petunias, your marigolds, impatiens. Those are annuals. Perennials, there's a lot. Ornamental grasses are really big right now.
Ornamental grasses?
Ornamental grasses. Very low maintenance. They don't get sick, no bugs. They grow a nice grass, nice thick coarse grass with a nice reed on top in the fall, and it blows around in the wind, kind of tropical looking. Those are really cool. They come in variegated leaves. Some have red leaves, yellow, polka dots in the green leaves. Really neat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ornamental grasses. Really, it's a really, really popular item. That's easy to take care of. The odd evergreen. I love evergreens.
Yeah,
I've always been a fan of evergreens.
They stay color.
They give
Very
you
rare
color,
that they,
and
they
it's
change.
nice to again, if you have small yards, stay away from the big spruces and the pine trees.
Okay.
You won't have room for that. You need 15 feet in diameter for them to grow. They might be only 3 feet tall when you buy them, and 2 feet across, but they grow fast.
A foot a year.
At least a foot a year, and then once they get their roots settled into the earth, oh boy, and moisture.
Watch out, eh?
That's right.
Perfect.
All right, so thank you so much, Rocky.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We'll just take a quick break, listen to one more song from the Yips. This song's going to be Repeater from their heirloom. They released a cassette.
Did they?
Yeah, cassette. Cassettes are back in, buddy.
Yes, they are.
Yep.
Right on.
We're going right back to the time. So here we are, listening to Repeater, and we'll be right back with Rocky. Thank you, Yips. So that was a repeater. So we're back with Rocky Laporte from the Friendly Gardener.
The Gentleman Gardener.
Gentleman Gardener.
Friendly gentleman, he is quite friendly.
There we go.
One thing we wanted to discuss, this winter that we just had was very long, creating a very short spring. I know it affected a lot of different professions out there, like maple syrup, things like this. Probably even the Tulip Festival. I don't know if that's behind now, but
No, Tulip Festival starts today.
it's going to start
The
today.
tulips
tomorrow.
they're not
But the
breaking up.
tulips are not starting.
No, the tulips won't be there. They'll be green.
Okay. So is there something, did it kind of set people back? Is there something people should be doing differently this spring compared to other springs to get going? Or what should people be doing regardless in the spring right now?
Yeah. Well, I know we've had a tough spring. We had a tough winter, but
Yeah.
the spring has been we had an old-fashioned winter. That's what we had. We had a
Okay.
winter we hadn't seen in 25 years, right? They're saying 25. Those are the kind of winters I grew up as a kid.
Yeah.
You know.
Walking to school in 14 feet of snow.
Yeah, and with my with my molasses sandwich underneath my arm, and we've had it pretty easy in the last 15 years of winters.
Yeah.
I mean, this year everything was a little late. I mean, it affected my business. I'm 2 weeks. I was almost over 2.5 weeks behind. Plus the rains we've been having.
Yeah.
But
I know
it affected
farmers are
everybody
complaining
from my neighbor across the street works for DuPont, and he said that they're just about to put the corn in now.
Yeah.
And that's late. Usually corn is in the first week of April.
Wow.
And
a
it's
month
just going
off.
in a month later,
Yeah.
So it's going to affect a little bit. It affected even the guys doing the cleanups in the driveways and putting the yellow lines down in parking
Yeah,
lots.
street
Because
sweepers,
everybody,
et cetera.
it delayed everybody. So it hurt everybody's pocketbook because,
Yeah.
a lot of us that rely on real, this 8-7 months of good weather is our bread and butter.
Yeah.
So
So what should people be doing with their lawns, for instance?
This weekend. This
week, now you can rake. I saw people start raking early April when it was really damp. When the snow was mostly gone. Whoa, that's too early. Okay.
What's the?
Rake now. Get your beds dressed up. Get a little fertilizer. in your
Why
garden
was
beds.
it too early to rake? Why
It was
shouldn't
too
you be
moist.
raking?
It was too wet.
Okay.
There's just people are just raking.
Ground's
a little
not
too,
settled.
Yeah. Well, because people had cabin fever. People needed to get out, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And but now it's just time to clean up your garden beds, get the junk out of it. Especially people that live on corners. A lot of debris came off the streets. Maybe, I don't know. I've seen some yards that just go in there and get all the papers and
Okay.
and then coffee cups and all that stuff. And just get your beds ready. There's just take your time. This is a spring that it's gonna carry right into June, which is going to be nice.
Okay. What about for lawns, like planting grass and seed?
Yeah.
Is there better grass now these days?
Oh, they've changed the formula big time.
Okay.
Yeah, the formulas
What's
of grass seed has changed big time. Before we used to get a lot of everybody wanted the Kentucky bluegrass and all this. Now the grasses are a lot of fescue. There's red fescue. There's a creeping fescue. There's perennial ryegrass now, annual ryegrass, which only survives 1 year, but that's the fastest growing grass that keeps all the other grasses up. The grass
And those
seed,
hold
the
a
grass
little
seed,
better in our climate versus...
That's right. And
I'm assuming the Kentucky bluegrass was built for Kentucky.
Maybe, and now we had a big grub infestation, and we had a lot of chinch bugs over the years when we had really hot summers. But now the grass seed companies really moved fast on that. So bugs don't like fescue. They don't like the fescue grass.
Oh, okay.
It's a low growing grass, very tight knit, and they don't like the root system of that. So that's good. They've changed. You'll see most formulas before there used to be 40% of Kentucky bluegrass in a mix. Now there's only 5%.
Wow.
Where they've changed the whole formula and brought in some new breeds of grasses. So.
Well, that's good. Now, but is the springtime generally when you want to plant your grass seed? Like, you don't want to plant it in the middle of the summer, from what I understand,
grass
right?
seed, no. Now we're getting right temperature. Grass seed needs at least 10 degrees around the clock for
okay.
it to break open and to
so that's why they say either
germinate.
in the fall or in the spring.
Yeah, in spring.
is when
In
you do it.
hot summer, I believe in seeding a little bit. Like it's called overseeding.
Okay.
And overseeding makes your lawn tougher, stronger, and when you have a tougher, stronger lawn, that chokes out the weeds. Don't let the weeds take over your grass. Get the grass to choke out your weeds.
And
that's
that'll
a
save you
natural
having
concept
to use all
of
sorts of
how
pesticides and chemicals.
Yeah, well, there's
and
hardly
or
nothing. And
whatnot.
everything that's out there now, in a pesticide, insecticide, herbicide, don't work very well.
Yeah.
To kill grubs, there's nothing out there really. I mean, everything that's used now, You know, it's just because Ontario, we're very strict here.
Yeah.
Just like Quebec is very strict.
With, you mean like the hazardous
with chemicals?
types of
Yeah,
chemicals?
we have nothing left. But I think I feel sorry for the
basically
companies.
selling water, eh?
I feel sorry for the companies that were selling those products and helping people's lawns. You know, those services they offer.
Yeah.
They're just scrambling trying to find something to keep the customer satisfied, because a lot of stuff they're using now, the natural stuff, doesn't work very well.
I saw one handy tool the other day on television that they're promoting now that it kind of has a little canopy over it, so you put it right over, and the can is upside down in that, so the spray doesn't go anywhere else but right in that little area, and you just walk around and you just kind of dab.
Yeah, you dab this powder on.
Wherever it is.
Yeah, well, it depends. Maybe was that an American?
It could be.
An American.
Was that 4 in the morning there,
advertisement?
Miller?
Yeah, good old infomercial. Right after the H2O vac.
In the States, they still have Merit. They still have 2,4-D. They still have Microprop.
Okay.
So Merit is for the grubs, and 2,4-D and Microprop are for the weeds.
Gotcha.
So we don't have any of that, and those were very effective, but people did not use them properly. The companies that were doing that before, they should give it back to them, get them especially trained by real professionals how to use it properly. And
too many do-it-yourselfers out there, right?
Yeah, because people are really having a hard time trying to keep a nice lawn now.
Yeah. Well,
so,
speaking of too many do-it-yourselfers, we wanted to get into, I believe.
Why would somebody hire a landscaper? I know, even from young age, 25 to 35. A lot of people are spending money on their home and spending money on other things, so they might not necessarily think of hiring a landscaper when actually it could possibly be something that they should do.
Yeah, it could be very beneficial.
Yeah, and also to follow that up, resale benefits, and right before you move,
very important. Let's say, first of all, if first home buyer, I know everybody wants to have that, a nice live-in house, but you got to remember the outside of your house is added value to your home. That's what I was saying a while ago about a tree. A tree is an investment. A tree is an asset to every property. You have a nice tree that's slightly mature when you're going to sell your house. It's an asset to every home.
And for country properties.
But also, like I said, don't overdo it. But I think there's a golden rule of in the landscaper, let's say, Bible, that you should be spending 10% of your house value on landscaping.
Oh.
That includes a deck, fence, and everything. 10% of the value of your house you should be spending outside. Okay? So
do you see that going up a little bit with shows like I noticed more HGTV shows are coming out, like Decked Out,
Yard Crashers.
Yard Crashers.
Some of the Yard Crashers episodes are just I love to watch.
Yeah.
To start off with, they're not in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay. You see them planting palm trees and this greenery and this foliage that I go crazy for. Yeah. I said I wish
you might be able to survive for 2 weeks in our climate.
Well, or the summer. Let's say that's summer.
Like that.
Yeah. But you can do that with planters. You see, you can plant those kind of tropical plants in planters on your deck, and then bring them in the house in the wintertime.
Great idea.
Okay. That's but you can do the tropical thing, and there's a lot of neat things out there that you can that looks tropical, but they won't survive our winter. But
yeah, so 10%.
The golden rule was 10%. But when I tell some of my customers that, or my possible clients or future clients, they laugh. They say, "Oh, really? That's a lot of money."
Especially if they're in the glebe.
Yeah, but I see it as like if say you find a house and your realtor can drop off the price, maybe $5,000 to $10,000. You invest a couple grand into a landscaper on the first time when you move into that house. They would show you a great idea of what the potential of your backyard or front yard could look like, or both, and then all you have to do is learn how to do that year in, year out. So off the get-go, I think it's a decent idea to do.
Well, yeah, to take a
go to a professional for that.
Try to have maybe a couple of $1,000s. It's hard for some like myself to come to a property, and spend 4 or 5 hours in your property. You need a little bit of money, because I'm going to do something good for you. But what I can do that I've done for a lot of customers, because most people love gardening.
Yeah.
They like to go outside in their shorts and t-shirt, put the ghetto blaster on.
T-shirt.
T-shirt. And I'm a shirt guy. So what I can do, and I've done a lot of those, I can make your garden beds for you. I can get them all really prepped nicely. get them a good size, not too small. You know, always think of 3 times the size of your porch in front, or that's how your garden should be in front. 3 times the size. You don't want to make it too small, I kind of use the word constipated, you know, when people do a little bed right at the front of the window. Try to make it a little larger, and I can get that all ready for you. I can edge it. I can put a professional edging in so the grass and the lawn won't go into your garden beds. I can get it all prepped and all the soil's there and some fertilizer already in. And you do the planting. Yeah. And I'll give you a list of suggestions.
Well, and that's it. The list of suggestions.
And people like
great.
to go and buy on their own terms.
Yeah.
And, you know, try to find bargains too. You know, they shop around. Let the people shop around. I tend to buy strictly from a nursery. I'm a nursery guy. I buy 99% of my product at J. Laporte Nursery.
Why go to a nursery as opposed to Home Hardware or a garden center? Is that supporting local? Or?
Yeah, I'm supporting local. I'm supporting small businesses and independent businesses. I try to stay away from I never buy a plant at either Home Depot or Walmart. I don't go.
Are they shipped from far away? Do you think?
Not necessarily. They're all buying from most plants. Actually, most of the greenery and shrubbery that you'll see in all those stores all come from Southern Ontario.
Really?
There's huge growing farms there, and some stuff. Actually, my cousin he actually brings in stuff from Vancouver.
Oh,
it takes 7 days to come on truck, but he buys some special evergreens that come from out west.
Yeah,
and they're tender, they're delicate, but a lot of customers know how to take care of them.
And
go ahead, guys.
I just think going to a nursery like J. Laporte would be beneficial as opposed to going to, Walmart or where you have a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah, that's right. You'll get professional.
$5.
If you go to J. Laporte, you're going
to
get professional.
Yeah.
Professional, and you're going to get somebody that knows exactly what you need. If you show them a little diagram, bring a photo of your front yard, and he'll design. I know John and his wife Estelle. They'll design you a nice little garden in 5 minutes. They'll say, "Okay," and he'll tell you exactly what you should have.
Well, and it's good to have that.
And I can do that too. But there you're at the nursery, and then you can take your little plan and walk around the nursery, and
it's like any DIY things that people do. It usually ends up costing them more money, and the same goes for the plants. Like you said, you need to know what you're planting, so you don't waste your money buying things.
That's right. Buy good, solid, mature plants, and most of those places give you a warranty.
Yeah.
Or a guarantee, on the bigger plants, not on perennials, not on annuals, but you'd say a good size evergreen and trees and shrubs, you'll get a guarantee, But also if you do it right, but for me to prep a garden, I love to do that. And I say here, and then they have their own way of doing things. I'll say, well, you should get that there and that there. I give them a list and a really quick little drawing.
That's a great idea.
Well,
and
great.
I said, here, you guys, and people like that,
Yeah.
And and then I say, put a little mulch on after, and fertilize it at this time of the month, and if you need help, I'll come in the fall and close your garden up.
Okay,
I give them that service.
So the opposite question then from right now, people should be prepping their gardens, cleaning up all the crap, getting out of there.
Yep.
Probably hold off on planting things for right now. I know there was frost a little while ago.
Well, the annuals is a little tricky, but everything else is full speed ahead.
Okay.
I did a planting job yesterday.
Wonderful.
Evergreens, shrubbery, some nice little perennials and everything. And it's going out.
Okay, so on the opposite end of the spectrum, what should people do in the fall? So to save them a little bit of work in the springtime, what should people be doing in the fall?
A little bit of pruning. Getting all the leaves off your lawn, especially.
All the leaves, yeah.
Leaves should come off the lawn, especially gardens. It's good. You can leave some in the garden. It makes a nice natural mulch. The leaves will dry up and break down.
That's good. I left all mine in the garden.
And you can work it all into the earth to a certain extent. Let's say not 3-4 inches or 5 inches of leaves, but on the lawn it's got to come off because a lot of the trees that we're getting around here have sometimes maybe a fungus.
Okay.
And the fungus, if it sits on the grass too long, the fungus will affect the lawn, and then you'll get diseases on your lawn. Okay, and it'll kill your grass.
Okay.
And you'll have brown grass when
sometimes
it hits
you see some of the maple trees have these big black spots on them.
Yeah.
And anyways, get those leaves off.
Okay.
It's really. And it's a good time to spend with your family. Get the kids and buy them little rakes and come on, guys, we're going to go and clean and you kind of do it at least 2-3 times in the fall to really get all the leaves off.
Great idea.
And just last question: resale benefits. Do you love when clients come back to you and say, "Holy shit, I never thought your that garden that you put in would help my home sell, this many days faster above sale"? Because
it's happened to me a number of times over my, we've been in business a good amount of years now. We did a house. I could give you a bunch of examples, but I'll give you one. This is down off in the Carlingwood area. Okay. And in the Carlingwood area, and we did a house, and these people, this really nice couple, both were taking jobs off to West Germany. They were in the high-tech business. They were offered really good work.
To West Germany.
To West Germany.
So before 1989?
Yes, I guess. Yeah, instead of East Germany. Yeah, anyways, Germany. Anyways, and they got offered good jobs, and they had to sell this beautiful house. Nice little tiny bungalow, or a little brick bungalow, really nice. And they didn't know who to... And they were friends of my friends. And they said, do you know somebody? And I said, yeah, Rocky will come over. He'll give you an estimate, and we went from there. Well, I told them, I went there, and they were in a hurry. They wanted to stage the house really nicely and get the for sale sign up within 4 days after they called me.
Yeah.
So I shuffled my schedule around. We went there. We spent maybe 15 hours on their property, which is good 2 solid days. Yeah. 3 guys. We're only 3. We're a small team. And we spent 3 days. They spent $2,800. And the place they couldn't believe what we did to the place. We fixed their fence too. I always do extra things. And I don't tell, I said, oh, we got to fix this, guys. I fixed the way his gate was closing. Yeah. I fixed, and that wasn't part of the price. I just did it because I want to do it. That's the type of guy I am. I want to help out,
You're the gentleman gardener.
And his patio was all woody, and we just went there with the whip, and we got the place clean. We did a little bit of sodding. And the place was going for, it wasn't a cheap place. They had it at $550, and they had a bidding war. It sold for $685.
Oh, geez.
They got $100,000 more. But I'm not saying that it was all mine, because I saw the inside had been all tweaked also, nice baseboards. But they got They had bidding wars, and the bidding war lasted two weeks.
Wow.
People kept bidding over everybody, and they got over $100,000 for their house.
That's
but
fantastic.
I think they undervalued their house to start off with, because they didn't know what they had. Yeah. But once the yard, they were just, we trimmed up these old, and we trimmed some shrubs and also planted a lot of nice things.
Well, with real estate the way it's going now, you have condos going up for sale, and included in the living space when they measure out square footage is the patio. It is an outdoor living space, and it's included now in square footage. So I personally think it's just as important when you have a home to make your outdoor living space, your backyards, just as sellable. Because
and
people are going to eat that right
up. If you just got a small little deck, to make it nice,
Yeah,
there's lots of nice outdoor carpeting now,
Well,
Martha Stewart makes an amazing line of outdoor stuff.
Yeah.
It's incredible. She has nice designs. It's nice. It's whatever.
What a woman.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining
thanks
us,
a lot,
Rocky.
Rocky.
My pleasure.
So if people want to call upon your services, you have a Facebook page. So you can Google Gentleman's Gardener.
Yeah.
Facebook Gentleman Gardener.
Yeah, for now I'm kind of old school,
Phone number?
I'm still working on a website. It's only been 5 years.
Yeah.
Phone number is
613-837-3023.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
There you go.
Leave a message. I get back to you within 24 hours. Guaranteed.
There you go.
All my calls. Every call is answered.
Beautiful. And next week we have the crew from Awesome Ottawa.
Awesome Ottawa.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Sounds awesome.
It is awesome.
And hopefully 50 men will be with us next week. Then?
Yeah, we'll try to get 50 men. Try to get 1 man. Events this weekend, we got the Ottawa School of Art's 135th anniversary event at the GCTC. Tonight, Black Denim's EP release show at Mercury Lounge.
Oh, really? That's tonight?
You're coming.
Wow.
You're coming to this. You're coming. You can't miss this again. You're coming to this.
Ever since we had Black Denim on the show, I wanted to go see them live.
It's my 3rd time seeing them since that show. Remy Thériault is having a talking tour at Ottawa Art Gallery. The Big Money Shot starts at Ritual.
That's another kind of the Battle of the Bands type
where
deal,
Black
right?
Denim finished 2nd.
Yes. Yeah. They're starting again already, eh?
It's starting again already. NFL drafts tonight. Montreal Canadiens are playing.
Montreal Canadiens are going to lose to Boston Bruins tonight. Mark my words.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We also have tomorrow, the Tulip Festival starts. Zoo Legacy will be playing tomorrow. They're going to Commissioners Park, which is at Bronson and Wellington, so we'll see how that space is utilized this week. Silver Creek's at Irene's. I was
Electric
at
Powwow.
Electric Powwow on Saturday. I'm actually in a fashion show. I'm modeling at Stripes and Pins with Emily Perizet.
Oh, who was on
Marcel Benedict, yes.
They were on the show. Actually, we interviewed them in Orleans as well.
That's right.
Another patio. Our last patio of the season, I believe it was. Yeah, it was
in and around
fall.
there. Yeah, I think it was. Babes and Gents will also be there. So that's at St. Bridget's at 7:30 in the market. So I highly, and it's a donation. It's for charity. You get to see me with other 20-year-old male models.
I'm in.
It's weird.
Taco Fest.
It's Taco Fest this weekend as well.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you know where that is?
That is at the Convention Center.
Well, there we go.
It's by Prive again. So Taco Fest at the Convention Center. Anything else? What are you doing, Rocky?
Mother's Day this weekend.
Mother's
don't forget,
Day,
people.
yes.
Nick,
Yeah.
don't forget,
Well,
send your mother a card
I
already.
did,
Yeah.
but
Good
it's
man.
Thursday. If I sent it
Actually,
now, she wouldn't get
It's
it.
going to be the official weekend of cracking open the barbecue.
There you go.
Yeah, I think so
Okay,
too.
I think-
Mine is open all year round.
I tried to open
I
mine
tried
the other
that,
day, and
but,
I was out of
I
juice.
find
live in a condo and it
I find
doesn't
it tastes
snow.
better when it's over 10 degrees outside.
It is true. I have had barbecue 5 out of the past 6 nights, so hopefully tonight will be barbecue again.
Perfect.
All right, well, thank you everybody for joining.
Yeah,
We got
and
one
thanks
last
again,
song.
Rocky.
One last song. It's called Sadie from the Yips. Yips613.bandcamp.com. Go see them 25th of May. Have a great week, everyone. Peace.
Take care.
Like a road, take me